Hello and welcome to another beautiful edition of Iron Port. Iron Port, as you know, is a program that has been designed to bring Ghana's port and maritime industry closer to you and you closer to the port and maritime industry. It is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, the Ghana Revenue Authority, Goyle Company Limited, Serene Insurance, and Ghana Link. Our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Remember, if you grab the Thursday edition of the BNFT, all that transpires on Iron Port will be found in this particular newspaper, so make sure to grab one. Folks, today we are revisiting the subject on the benchmark value policy. News reaching us is that government has reviewed this policy and now general goods would enjoy 30% discount while vehicles would enjoy 10% discount. With this in perspective, we reached out to those who would be affected by this policy to get their reaction. Here's a report. It will be recalled that over the past year or two, the various trading associations have expressed polarizing views on the benchmark value policy introduced by government in 2019. Local wholesalers and retailers of goods had maintained that the policy has been beneficial to business, whereas local industries argued that they were being negatively affected by the policy. Following the year-long brouhaha on the benchmark value policy, government has reached what can be said to be a middle ground by reviewing the policy. As it stands, the benchmark value reduction on general goods has been reduced by 30% against the previous 50%, whereas the home delivery value of vehicles is discounted by 10% against the previous 30%. Reacting to the new discount figures, the president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, described the new benchmark value discount rates as reasonable.
It's a win-win situation for all of us, including our brothers, AGR, because government have to compensate all of us. And so that they have their bit, we have our bit. The consuming public have their bit, and government can also show up its revenue collection, for which we have to accept and move on as a nation. Though at the meeting, people wanted the car to go up small. But then in situations like this, you cannot have it all.
He praised government's all-encompassing approach to arrive at the new dispensation.
Government found it necessary that they suspend the benchmark reversal policy and give way for broader stakeholder engagement, for which we did. Then government met with all of us. We have gone into this engagement with an open mind. We're very objective, taking the nation at heart.
The Association of Ghana Industries, represented by David Selom Adika, on the other hand, said the reviewed discount rates are unsatisfactory, leaving local industries gasping for survival.
In oil, at 50%, we went negative 13% below imports. At 70% now we are at negative 9.2% in edible oil. That is where I work, so I'm just giving you that directly. Negative 9.2%. So if we are saying that we want at least a level playing field or an advantage over importation, and we are at a place where we have been told that let us do this gradually. And gradually means that we have moved from negative 13% to negative 9%. I'll ask you, are we still in red or we are in green?
He said the previous 50% discount placed on the duties of imported goods gave traders of such goods an unfair advantage, running local industries to the ground.
At that time, if you compare currently at current prices, if you do the costing, you will see that at 100%, local manufacturing has an advantage of only 4% in terms of price over imported goods. Now, with the introduction of that policy, immediately the cost of finished goods that are imported into the country went below what we make in the country. Now, we had no chance to do anything.
David, who is the head of marketing at Avnash Industries Ghana Limited, revealed that the only lifeline they survived on was the export market of ECOWAS, which remains uncertain.
The only situation that kept us in business for 2 years since 2019, when this policy was introduced, is export markets that we access in West Africa. So our businesses moved from 70% local sales to 70% export sales. Now, as we speak, those opportunities too are closing in on us. We are losing them.
According to him, it is not unusual for government to provide preferential treatment towards local manufacturing companies, as it is the practice in most growing economies.
I'll give you the Indonesian example. You know what they have done with their palm oil? They are the leading producer of palm oil in the world at the time. If you are lifting crude palm oil from Indonesia, you are paying a lower export tax. You are paying a lower export levy on the finished goods as opposed to the crude palm oil. Why are they doing that? Because they want to keep the crude palm oil in their country and create jobs in edible oil refineries in their country. Therefore, when you come there to pick the raw material to come and create job in Ghana, they will punish you. They will discourage you. They will say, pay 35% for exporting crude palm oil from our country. If you are taking finished product that is in bottles like this,
that's the kind of biasness you want on the side of government to make you thrive.
This is what anybody.
Were these the same arguments you advanced when you met the minister, when you went to the
This is what we have always told government, that if you have an agenda to industrialize, there is no way you can do that by not being deliberate in making your local industry competitive.
The president of GUTA rebuffed the position of AGI and insisted that local industries should redirect their energies into soliciting for incentives that would reduce cost of production.
So what is it that is militating against you? Not being competitive. It's what you have to make your argument. But the benchmark or the discount policy does not come anyway to distract your business. It's only a mitigating factor that government have done to reduce the cost of the importation. And that's all. And you are also enjoying. You are enjoying same. And you are pleading with government not to take it from you. What double standard is that?
He emphasized that local manufacturing companies should prioritize the production of products they have competitive advantage in.
Let me tell you, he's talking as if all companies are not doing well. It's not true. Companies are doing marvelously well, and we are patronizing those goods. So many goods, plastics, biscuits, and all that is not attractive for people to travel and bring because they are very competitive. Quality is good, even tires, floor tiles, and all that, and pharmaceuticals. But government will never surcharge the good people of Ghana because some company that is struggling to be relevant is not doing well, so all the country should suffer. We do that.
Taking a stand on the subject, a former president of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, Joseph Agbaga, interrogated the method of benchmark valuation in itself.
In my literature and all the literatures that I have read concerning valuation for goods for customs purposes, I have not come across any method known as benchmark valuation method. In fact, the Act 891 of Customs Act 2015, Section 67, outline the methods of valuation as, or it modeled it after the WTO agreement on customs valuation. And that is what I know. So if benchmark is a new introduction of terminology, I'm yet to come to terms with that.
He was of the opinion that government could have applied discounts on the value-added tax instead.
The government could have reduced maybe the VAT and maintain the 100% valuation method, because VAT is a domestic tax. So we have all the command that we can even reduce the VAT to even 10%,
right,
or 8%, so that we can maintain. That is my ideology.
Yeah.
Joseph Agbaga, however, noted that the achievement of the customs revenue target could be attributed to the benchmark value policy. He was also of the opinion that the concerns of manufacturers should be on the other tax components that contribute to the high cost of doing business.
the manufacturing concerns will look at this whole thing in a different
perspective.
Can we talk about the cost of electricity, water? Can we talk about the machineries that we are using to do our manufacturing? Can we talk to government about some of the taxes that they pay in the recourse of their business? Just as under the GPHA Act, when the people come, we give them tax holidays.
Foreign direct investment,
Right? So for me, if you ask me, these are the areas.
Here are some comments. Good evening, Iron Port. Kindly tell the AGI man to stop spewing lies because importers are levied VAT, Get Fund, NHIL, and COVID-19, not just on the duty, but on other ancillary charges like network charge. This is Ohema from Tema. This one is from Ken from America. He said, instead of AGI trying to suppress importers, they should rather look at talking to government in the area of the cost of electricity, water, and other import prices, which would reduce the cost of production. Amidi from Tema says, local manufacturing companies are suffering from these high rates. Avnash are not the only company suffering, Walmart too. If we do not take care, they will lay off all the workers. Government should really look into it.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the IC, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance. Oh, Ajima, tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
The Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana has held a day's forum for selected news editors in Accra on port operations to address everyday issues pertaining to the maritime trade. The program also assembled industry experts and veterans to educate the journalists on the nuances of port operations. While educating the journalists on port processes, a Deputy Commissioner of Customs, Joseph Eduche, emphasized on the importance of compliance in reaping the full benefits of the automated port clearance processes.
And we are here to facilitate trade. And we are not here to burden you with unnecessary challenges. But what I will say here is that help us to help you. All the statutory requirements we need are all captured in the Act 891 of 2015.
He also revealed that plans are underway to automate the auctioning process. A former Commissioner of Customs, Wallace Akondo, called for legislation to back the online auction process. The president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obeng, called on the government to examine the auction regime as traders lose their goods through it, noting that the high duties on imported goods made it difficult for importers to clear within the stipulated time.
But government to revisit this auction regime so that traders will not be affected. I can see a whole cartel being built around this auction process, and it is not helping us at all.
There were solidarity messages from the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Food and Drug Authority, Ghana Link, and the Association of Customs House Agents Ghana, among others.
The media plays a very cardinal role in shaping our nation's discourse, and the importance of this role cannot be overemphasized. Thus, we are delighted to see continuous efforts and initiatives by various media practitioners to specialize in reporting in the shipping industry.
The Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association, Samson Asaki Awingobit, emphasized that the program would help members of the press churn out accurate reportage on the industry.
I think it's the right time for us to organize such a forum, bring you those who matters. Let's have a national conversation. And so that tomorrow, if your reporter goes out and come with any news item about how import people are evading taxes or under declaring, you'll be informed. And you say, no, you were at a forum like this, and this is the process that they go through.
Bilateral relations between Ghana and Guinea have kicked a notch higher with the visit of the Director General of the Port of CONAKRY to the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. The MD of Port of CONAKRY, Mamadou Biro Diallo, on 23rd February paid a working visit to GPHA to leverage on the rich experiences of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority in managing the ports of Ghana. He expressed particular interest in GPHA's solutions to port congestion, its concession arrangements with private partners, and the administrative structures of the company. Led by the General Manager Corporate Planning at GPHA, Samuel Intokumi, key heads of departments briefed the Guinean delegation on GPHA's activities.
Currently, we only have concessions in the cargo handling segment. Our marine operations still remain under our control that we operate and manage. We also perform part of the cargo handling operations. We run Terminal 2, which now we are handling as a multi-purpose. It does some containers and some break bulk and some dry bulk like grains. We run that terminal. Sometimes we have some ro-ro vessels also going, but our involvement in cargo handling is very small.
The DG indicated we have the headquarters and we have the ports. We have the TAKORADI ports and then Tema port mainly operating ports. And so for the ports, we have the directors of ports who are like assistants who report to the Director General. So we have the Director of Ports, Tema, and Director of Ports, TAKORADI. And for each of these ports, they have departments that report to the Director of the ports.
The Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Lugoje, emphasized that the authority will always provide bilateral support where possible.
Within the context of the Port Management Association of West and Central Africa, we have emphasized stronger collaboration among member ports. And we've also encouraged whilst we are cooperating at the sub-regional level as a bloc, we've encouraged member ports to also do bilateral, or encourage a lot of bilateral cooperation, so that together we can ensure that at any given time we are all developing our services and improving quality almost at the same comparative level.
The delegation also visited the Terminal 3 at the Port of Tema to obtain first-hand experience of the world-class operations there.
No, I think any port would love to have what you have here already, or achieve to a minimum where you are. And MPS terminal we're looking at now is well equipped and to international standards today. And you're lucky to have deep sea waters here that you managed to achieve. So I think going forward, you could be proud of what you've achieved here.
A new shed at the Canoe Basin of the Tema Fishing Harbour has been commissioned to augment the facilities available for fishmongers to receive and trade in fresh fish. With a capacity of 193 separate spaces, the shed is expected to relieve fishmongers at the Canoe Basin from the harsh sunlight that they were hitherto suffering from in carrying out their business. The Director of Port, Sandro Opoku, urged the users of the facility to observe good hygiene while carrying out their functions in order to protect themselves and the final consumer.
We want you to sell the fish in a hygienic area because it is food for everybody. You will sell it here. If it is not hygienic, somebody else down the line will buy it, and then it will affect somebody else. And so we urge you to keep the place neat. I'm glad that there's a monitoring team in place that involves the chief fishermen. They will come continuously to check.
The general manager of the Tema Fishing Harbour, Engineer Kwabna Samoa, acknowledged the hierarchy at GPHA for making this project a success.
There are times the Canoe Basin needs certain projects executed. We come to you with nothing, but with your influence, you pull the necessary strengths, and the request is granted.
The leadership of the local fishing community in Tens expressed gratitude to GPHA and admonished their members to be good custodians of the facility. The first berth of the new dry bulk terminal has been handed over by private contractor Amandi Ghana Limited to management of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority to give way for cargo operations to partially commence at that berth. For now, seaside loading would be accommodated at the berth, while shoreside loading would begin in 2 weeks' time, following the completion of the pavement of a final strip of 200-meter stretch. Management has therefore met with the contractor to make arrangements for uninterrupted flow of traffic by trucks that will be carting dry bulk cargo to and from ships at the released berth in order to ensure quick turnaround time. The harbour master at the port of TAKORADI, Captain Richmond Kwesen, during inspection of the site, reviewed the new arrangements for bulk cargo operators at the port.
Berth number 1, as it is now, will be used for only clinker discharge. We're not going to do the normal loading, grabbing from the ground again, no. It's done. Clinker discharge, and we are looking at the traffic management, how the trucks will drive in and exit after loading. All the dynamics is ongoing, and the contractor have assured us that in 2 weeks from now, Berth number 1 will be ready.
Having released berth 1, the contractor will move on to focus on civil works at berth 2 of the dry bulk terminal, which has a total berth length of 800 meters with a draft of 16 meters, making it one of the deepest dry bulk terminals in West Africa. Several Russian news agencies have reported that 2 Russian commercial cargo ships have been targeted by Ukrainian missiles in the Sea of Azov. The ships in question have been identified as the 3,300 deadweight tonnage SGV Flot owned by Samara Shipping and the 4,000 deadweight tonnage Serafin Sarovsky owned by Rechmore Trans. They were hit by the Ukrainian Armed Forces missile strike at around 11 a.m. on 24th February 2022 as a Ukrainian response to the invasion by Russian troops that started in the early morning hours of Thursday. The missiles are believed to have been fired from the port city of Mariupol. As a result, the 1981-built general cargo vessel SGV Float, which was carrying oil, sustained damage. A fire broke out on board the 118.9-meter long ship, and one of its crew members was injured. Maritime research consultancy Drury has said that ocean carriers have generated about $190 billion of annual profits and about $130 billion of fresh cash in 2021, obtained mainly by charging higher prices. According to Drury, the latest quarterly results announced by the top container carriers highlight the reversal of fortunes for an industry that has morphed from financial laggard to one of the most lucrative business sectors in the global economy. Drury analysis of carrier profits and freight rates reinforces the view that the elevated profits of ocean carriers are the result of higher freight rates and not higher business volumes, additional services, or lower costs. For example, neither Maersk nor Hapag-Lloyd carried more containers in the latest quarter than in the same quarter of 2020. Norwegian weather forecasting provider StormGeo has launched a new carbon intensity indicator dashboard, a digital tool for ship operators to calculate, report, and improve the CII rankings of their fleet. The dashboard was developed in response to the industry's need for the accurate assessment of vessel carbon intensity. As described, the tool will help ship operators comply and stay ahead of new CII rules that require CII rating value for all cargo, ro-packs, and cruise vessels above 5,000 gross tonnage to be calculated and reported after January 1, 2023.